Hey guys, let's work through some of the problems on classwork 51.3. Before we get started, I'm going to review the triangle congruency theorems and postulates that we already know to be true, so you just kind of have a list to refer back to. So the first one we learned was side, side, side. Then you have side, angle, then angle, side, angle, angle, side, and then you have the hypotenuse leg theorem. So as you're completing the first page, these are the only theorems and postulates that we've learned. So all of the answers will be either one of these, but it could also be not enough information. So we're going to determine if two triangles are congruent, and then if they are, state how you know. So with number one, as you know, we can mark a shared side in the middle. So that means this side is congruent. So we have a shared side and then two other sets of sides that are congruent. So these two triangles are congruent by side, side, side. It looks like in number 3, I'm given all angles that are congruent. So it would be angle, angle, angle. Well, there isn't a triangle congruency postulate or theorem that says angle, angle, angle. So for this one, it would be not enough information. If you look at number 2, it looks like we can mark some vertical angles right in the middle. So once you mark the diagram, see if there's enough information to determine if those triangles are congruent. Same with number 4. I know mine's cut off a little bit, but you can see that there's a shared side in the middle, so we can mark the shared side and then try to determine if these two triangles are congruent. Notice there's a 90-degree angle here, so that's an indication that you're going to want to check for hypotenuse leg theorem. Now let's take a look at number 5. With the two triangles, again, we have vertical angles in the middle. So this one uses one arc mark, so I'm going to use 2 to mark vertical angles. So it looks like here we have angle, angle, side, and then angle, angle, side, where the side is only touching one of the angles. This is an indicator of angle, angle, side. If you look at number 7, the only thing we can mark in number 7 is the shared side. So if I mark that, it looks like I have an angle, a side, and an angle. And then on this triangle, I have an angle, a side, and an angle. So this one appears to be angle, side, angle. Looking at number 9, we already have two sides that are marked congruent. So this one is congruent to this one, and then this one is congruent to this one. I know that I can mark the shared side, so it looks like we have side, side, side for number 9. The second page is going to be a little bit different because we're going to state what additional information is required in order to know that the triangles are congruent for the given reason. So if we look at number 11, we're trying to figure out what other information is needed or that we need to mark to make these two triangles congruent by angle, angle, side. So remember, for angle, angle, side to be true, the side has to be touching one of the angles. So if this is the side, I can mark an angle right here on both triangles, and then I would have angle, angle, side. So this means that angle J would have to be congruent to angle M for this to be true. Notice that that's not the only answer. So if I use this angle here, if I mark those with the congruency marks, I have angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. So this one can also be angle I is congruent to angle L. For number 13, we're going to make these try to be congruent using angle, angle, side. So I already know that we can mark the shared side in the middle. So let's do that with one arc mark. So I already have one angle, angle X, and angle N is congruent. And then I have a side that's congruent. So it looks like I still need to find another angle to make these two triangles congruent by angle, angle, side. So given this shape, it looks like we have some kind of alternate interior angle. So that means if these lines were parallel, I can mark alternate interior angles here and here. If I mark those, then I have an angle, and a side, and then angle, angle, side. Therefore, angle XLM would have to be congruent to angle LMN for these triangles to be congruent by angle, angle, side. We can also look at it as if these two sides were parallel. So if I were to erase that and do these lines as parallel, still given my side, my shared side in the middle, then these angles would be alternate interior. So I can mark this one here and this one here. Then I would have angle, angle, side, and then angle, angle, side. So for this one you have another option. So option 2 would be angle XML, which is this one, XML, congruent to angle NLM. So NLM would be referencing this angle here, so NLM. For number 15, we want to make these two triangles congruent by angle, side, angle. So notice that we have one of the angles marked here. The side that we have is the shared side, so it looks like we need another angle. There's not many options here, so you have angles here and angle here. So angle X and C, and then angle XZY, and to name this angle here, it would be angle ZYC. So if I marked angle X and angle C, that would give me angle, angle, side, and angle, angle, side, and that's not what I want. I want angle, side, angle. So that tells you that you're not going to mark these two because the side has to be in between the two angles, just like the S appears in the name. And right now the side's only touching one angle, it has to touch both. So that is an indicator that you're not going to mark those angles. You will need to mark these two. So now you can see that the side is in between the angle with the one arc mark and the angle with the two. So we have angle, side, angle here, and then angle, side, angle on the other side. So that means that you would have angle X, Z, Y needing to be congruent with angle C, Y, Z. For number 17, we have another one that's angle, side, angle. So that means your side has to be in between the two angles. So if you marked here and here, the side wouldn't be touching the two angles. So that's an indicator that you need to mark angle X and angle L. So angle X would have to be congruent to angle L for these two triangles to be congruent by angle, side, angle. So you have your angle, your side, and your angle here. For this last one, we're trying to prove these two triangles are congruent by side, side, side. So because this one in the middle is a shared side, that's just assumed that they are congruent because the side is shared. So these two sides would have to be congruent. Therefore, you're going to mark 3 marks on your diagram, and segment EZ would have to be congruent to segment YX for these two triangles to be congruent by side, side, side. And remember, because this is a shared side, we assume that it's congruent because it's a part of both triangles. Hopefully this was helpful walking you through some of the problems. Now just complete the even ones and submit your assignment on Canvas.